Oh, what's going on? I decided to make this a quick video because I hope this ain't too noisy with this shit banging around on my piece here. But I was reflecting earlier about who I was and how far I have come in my journey, you know, as I'm sure you have too. And I also contemplated on all the restrictions that came with who I was, you know. As I'm sure you have too. And the title of this video is You're One Idea Away from Unlimited, you know. And I was really just meditating on that statement, kind of, you know what I'm saying? And like how true that really is. And I was thinking of just what kind of brought this on is I think I heard a song and this song reminded me of a particular period in time of when I was really fucked up, man. I mean, I was really fucked up. Like, in a lot of ways throughout my whole life almost, you know, like it was just, I've spoke about it before, but it was that dark night of the soul time, you know, and it was just like, fuck. And I was just thinking about it. But what I started really thinking about was all the different limitations that I had imposed on myself for whatever reason. You know, and we all have, you know, let's get this straight, okay? I don't believe in demonizing anything, really. Without limitations, we would not be able to have this experience we call, you know, being human and matrix and all that shit, because everything would just be a free-for-all to go anywhere. There'd be no structure. So you'd have no body. There'd be no planet. You know, think about it. A planet is a planet because of restrictions, because of limitations, or else that shit would just fly out into the universe or whatnot. You know, so I get it, you know, limitations do play their part. And so, yeah, man, I was just thinking about that and just thinking how that one idea, one inspiration, you know, as far as just myself personally, how I started everything with one deck of cards. I had nothing else but a deck of cards. And I know this sounds like a fucking story kind of, but that's what it was. I had one deck of cards, nervous as shit at first in approaching people. You know, if I was a salesman, I would have been less nervous, but because of what I was approaching them for, I was like, that's what made me nervous. Because, you know, you don't know if you're walking up to a table of, you know, on fire Christians or whatnot, you know, so it was crazy. I would approach tables to give readings. That's what I do. You know, that's how it started though. But a lot of people, they ask me, like, a lot of people, and I get it because I know, I'm a lot the same way as you, but like a lot of people will ask me questions, or especially in readings, with the how part. And, you know, that's like a real intimate part of your creation process. And what's more important to me than even just a creation process is the role that you get to play in it. And I think that's one of everyone's secret deep fantasies, is not only do you want whatever you're casting for, whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're in, whatever, but there's also, and a lot of you ain't even aware of this, but once I say this, you're going to say, you know what? You're right. You want to experience being in that co-creative seat. You are creating with, you know, all the laws of this matrix, and maybe even beyond all the known laws. But you want to have that experience of communing with your divinity, because that's what is the all in all, and that's what creates the all in all, or it creates the experience of, I guess you could say. But I don't even know what my point was. But yeah, I needs to get back because I gotta finish up some documents that I'm making for all participants, just something to help them out for this, you know, limiting this new moon ritual in Cancer clearing ritual. A very important thing at a very important time. Couldn't get better with it, you know. This too has been a major success, and I know it's going to be a major success. We've already got tons of testimonies for the rapid cash infusion ritual. I haven't even had a chance to sift through all of them and, you know, make a little something to show people. We are going to be doing another rapid cash infusion ritual as well shortly. But yeah, this is just about coming together and really making shit happen. There's a lot of power when you know, get into alignment. But what was I fucking even saying, man? This shit fucking, I just had a major brain flatulence. Okay. But about limiting beliefs though, you know, and limitations, and me thinking back, and I'm sure you've done that too, depending on, you're either thinking back saying, damn, how far I've come, or you're thinking, man, ain't shit changed. I need to get on my shit. You know, so I've had those moments too, man, where a year or two goes by and shit looks pretty much the damn same. You know, shit don't look too goddamn different. And then you start feeling like a loser because you ain't progressing or some shit like that, you know. But yeah, so you're one idea away. Oh, that's what I was going to say, though. People contact me a lot with the how. But in a lot of ways, maybe I might be able to shed more light on the how. But the how is a very intimate thing, because that's between you and your intuition. You know, that's why a lot of times when that's why they always tell you to also just get started. Because as you get started, you start getting downloads and channels and inspirations for the next step to do. Very rarely will you get the whole plan, every single step, just thrown on your lap, man. Sometimes the best you can hope for is just the very next step. And that's always the most important, because you can only do one thing in the moment at a time. So the next thing to do should be really where just all your attention is, you know. More than likely in materializing shit, whether it's becoming something or materializing an object or a person or something like that, there's going to be some form of action required from you, because let's face it, we live in a dimension where we live with this thing called time that appears, you know, to go by us, and there's like a continuity type of thing happening here, even though we exist in the soup where everything exists. So go figure on that one. But yeah, sometimes if somebody, I've been asked, hey, am I going to get money, and how? And I might be able to say what the category is. I mean, if it's not there, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to just make shit up, you know. I might have a pool more like, hey, check into this. Hey, go this direction. I can maybe point in the right direction. But really, when you start downloading and channeling all the details, right? I want to do this, right? And whatever this is, it's got a lot of steps to it. It's big. I almost don't know where to start. I almost feel overwhelmed. But let me just do this next thing. And believe me, before you even get done with the next thing, 9.9 times out of 10, you already know what to do next. Or you have a very strong inkling. And sometimes I believe your higher self will lead you to do inklings that don't work, so you can learn shit that is going to work. It's just kind of like with your children. Sometimes you can tell them the right way, but sometimes they got to bump their head. They got to burn their hand, or they got to have a challenge with it, have a go with it, as they say in the UK. as my UK brethren and sisters say, have a go with it, you know, let them have a go with it so they can learn for themselves, because there's no learning like when you matriculate that shit yourself. Can't nobody eat for you, can't nobody shit for you. Remember that.